You're live. Hello, YouTube. It's me, John Avenger, once again, and welcome back to another live commentary. This is of the sequel to one of the most bitter Christmas movies of all time, and that is Home Alone 2, Lost in New York, the one I saw in the theater when I was 7 years old. So, this is important to me. I want to see this movie again. It's been a while. I haven't seen it since last year. This is the insert. Quickly. It's pictures of them. And this is my favorite Home Alone sequel, definitely. Because after this, it went downhill. So let's start the movie. Just we're at the Fox logo, so we didn't miss anything. Yes, I love it too, Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire fan. The sound for this one is not as good as the first one, because this one doesn't have any special features. The second movie got no special features, yet the first one got a commentary and a bunch of deleted scenes. And this one gets no respect because they say it's a remake of the first one. No, they don't go to Paris in this one. In this one, they go to Florida. It's got the same music. It's got most of the same cast, except for Tracy, who doesn't come back in this one because she was doing Cool as Ice. And the girl that played Lenny, she's played by another actress instead because, they couldn't get her back. She was doing another film, too. Lost in New York, yeah. I have a soft spot for sequels in New York City, guys. Devin Rattray, yeah. Kieran Culkin, Macaulay Culkin's little brother. One of his brothers. And you got Tim Curry in this one, yeah. He's a new addition. You have Rob Schneider, and then you have Brenda Fricker as the pigeon lady. But just wanted to feel that Home Alone feeling again, and I haven't had that since this one. Because 3 and 4 sucked. 5 I like as its own thing, but it doesn't feel like a Home Alone movie. It just feels like a Canadian version. And there we go. The house, just like in the first movie. John Hughes wrote it also, so he was able to do this. The last one he did was 3, and that was awful. It's not even a Christmas movie. This Christmas in July was hit and miss for me, but not horrible. I've definitely had worse. And this is on Disney Plus, so you can watch it in the winter. I agree with Home Alone 3 and 4 sucking. Yeah, because 3 is nothing like the first two, and may Roger Ebert rest in peace, but he said that 3 is better than the first two. No, it's not. And 4 is a terrible TV movie that it was just crap. There's a product placement. Ding Dang Dong. That's not even a real game show. It's probably from an old game show that doesn't exist anymore. I know because I watch game shows every year. There's the '90s haircut that women that Captain O'Hara has. What do you think of Armand White? I don't know who that is. Yes, I did have the Talk Boy when I was a kid. I saw it in this movie and I wanted one. I got one. I got it for my birthday when I was like 9, and I used it all the way to the 2000s. I used to record a lot of stuff. It's Bozo the Clown. There's no Christmas trees in Florida. And there's the Trump Plaza. Yes. Our former President Donald Trump makes a cameo in this movie, guys. Do not hound me in the comment section. It's just a cameo. That's it. Christmas is my favorite holiday. Yeah, I know. And it's coming soon. The real deal. John Hurd, man, I still miss you, man. Even if I walked in there and saw him naked, I grew up never feeling like a real man. Oh, trust me, a lot of people didn't. Yeah, John Hurt reminds me of my dad. He's a mix of my dad and my uncle Herbert. This can't be talking about. I wonder who could it be? I say, oh, the hatiest cat you ever did see. When they see me walking down the street. This movie's much longer than the first one. That's why I want to do it. This movie's about 2 hours. Coocha! You know, she's a little pervert, because this movie's almost 2 hours. It says 2 hours without the end credits, like an hour and 50. Christmas tree, my Christmas tree, lit up like a star. When I see my Christmas tree and loved ones before. It's a good movie and it's a good sequel. It's got a bigger budget and it's in New York City, so they needed to have like a good schedule for it. And I live in New York, so I know what it's like to live the experience. They're laughing, yeah. If my brother did that to me, he'd get sucker punched in the face. And I know what it's like to have an older brother who's a dick. Douchebag. Look at Uncle Frank is laughing his ass off. Chris is like, oh yeah, push. Yep, take that. Also, I have DVD of Home Alone 2. Yeah, because Home Alone 2 got a Blu-ray, but no commentary or special features. Oh my god, that poor lady got destroyed. And gentlemen of the jury, and this is the old DVD with a poster. Yeah, because the other poster is like the Blu-ray is red. What? Short and ill-timed, immature. Hmm. He's like, what? I'm so not buying this. Some of them aren't clapping because you see they're not buying it. No. And this movie's 30 years old, so this year in December I'm going to see it for the 30th anniversary in December. I'll watch it on Disney Plus. It looks great on Disney Plus, by the way. It's not altered. It's in 4K. It sounds great and looks great. So yeah, Devin Ratway's face is evil in this movie. Me too. You saw the dog statue? Yeah. Who wants to Christmas in a tropical climate anyway? Yeah. You're fun. He just burns his uncle, man. If I said that to my uncle, I get slapped right in the face. Any of my uncles that are still alive. Yeah. Yeah. hmm I know. I just saw the first movie a few weeks ago. I never say that to my parents. Oh no, I'm not an asshole like that. When I was a kid, if I called my mother a dummy, she would slap me with her open with an open hand because I'm not disrespectful to my parents like that. Especially even now when that I'm in my adulthood. I'd rather kiss a toilet seat. Mm-hmm. Me too. At 10, no, but in my 30s, yes. Because I want to go on vacation by myself in 2023 to prove that I'm a man. Mm-hmm. I want to go to either Canada or Hawaii or something like that. Nice change of pace, a new scenery instead of going to the same four locations I go to every week. It's not that hot this week. It's like in the 80s, so it's not that bad. I wanted to start the podcast early. I don't want this to finish at 3, so. If the Wet Bandits are loose, they broke out of prison, so they could be in the movie again. Yep, we did it again, and they look at the camera. I like how meta the movie is. I know what it's like to have a big family, not like 15 people, but at least 5. I miss this. I miss this character so much. Yeah, I do too. We never got a third movie that was, worthy of the first two because it's got a completely different cast. It's got a different director who's Roger Gosnell is one of the worst directors ever. He's not a good director, guys. He did the Scooby Doo films, he did Home Alone 3, and he did freaking The Smurfs. And he's the editor of these movies, not a director. 14. Oh, there's only 14 because Tracy's not in this movie. She didn't come back for the movie, so they just write her out of the film. They never mention her again. There's only 14. It was 15 in the first movie. I get it now. Yeah, because when I was a kid, I didn't notice that Tracy was in there. Yeah, John Hurt was such a good actor, and I'm glad I got to see him in Sharknado before he died. I'm very happy he did that, and they did a nice memory for him. So if I start crying at the end of the last Sharknado, you know why, guys? Because heard they put some archive footage of him at the end, and like, yeah, that was a nice send off for him. That they brought him back, one last time before he passed. Such a good sequel, man. Yeah, I know they say it's a remake. I'm like, no, there's some similarities between this and the first one, but there are different scenes. I mean, they didn't chase Kevin in the first one, like people in the hotel. No, that's way different than the first one. It was the grocery store kid. It went the wrong way. Even though I enjoyed Home Alone 5, yeah, for its own story that is Canadian and it's a different cast, it wasn't insulting the first two. Like 4 had the audacity to say that Kevin de-aged or something. I'm like, no, a bug-eyed Kevin with the big mouth like that, that's not Kevin. And then Buzz is like 12 years old again. I'm like, what? This isn't a prequel, guys. It's supposed to be after 2. And I'm like, nah, kiss my ass movie. There's a reason you failed. And you're the worst rated movie of the franchise until the new one that came out last year, which I refuse to watch. Bentos are not Home Alone to me. Period. Wait! And yes, these movies had a lot of white people, but again, early '90s comedy, guys. Now everything is like painted black and white. I'm like, and I'm sick of it. You don't need diversity in everything. If it's a period piece, you don't have to put it. It's not necessary. In some movies, it is. In some of them, leave it the way it is, guys. I don't need a black version of Home Alone. It's not necessary. I don't need a black version of Plane, Trains, and Automobiles. I don't need a black or Asian or Hispanic version of well, they did Father of the Bride. That's already too late. That's going to be on Disney Plus, by the way. The first two films. I don't need a diverse, I'll say, version of freaking Baby's Day Out or the Simpsons. No, I don't need it. It's not necessary. We get it. There's people of different kinds in this world. They did a black version of Family Guy and it failed. The Cleveland Show. Not because it's black, because it just wasn't necessary. Yeah, we don't need it. We don't need it. It's just forced. Here, there's some diversity. Look at Kevin. He's like, why is this guy talking to me like, he's like, fuck is he saying? And there's no subtitles, so you have no idea. Pampalea. Yeah, trust me, I do that to tune people out all the time. I remember those headphones over the head. Oh, but it's Christmas. He is speaking French, but I don't. There's no subtitles. Again. Mm-hmm. I love the way Catherine O'Hara looks now. 30 years later, she has that white hair now, and she's still very motherly now. Mm-hmm. Because she played a mom in these two movies, and then in Monster House, even though she's not in that much. Yeah, and this was before 9/11, and also before the World Trade Center bombing, which happened a year after this movie came out in '93. Thankfully, I wasn't in Manhattan that year, when that happened, because I want to be alive, guys. I want to live. Yep, there it is, New York City. And some of my family members do live in Florida, so I know what that feels like. Yeah, the clip from the DC Super Pets got blocked because again the movie hasn't come out yet officially, not till tomorrow. Miami International Airport. Give this, give this to Kevin. Give this to Kevin. Give Kevin. Give it to Kevin. Give this to Kieran looks just like him with his hair's darker though. He was in Scream, right? Yeah, he was in Scream 4. See, some of these actors are not the same. Like most of them are. See, that was Lenny. They changed the actress. What? Oh, this movie's funny, man. Perfect timing. That's it's a funny scene when Kevin's mom says, "Yeah, it's funny because it's like Kevin's not here." It's like, wait, he's like processing it, and it's like, what? Just like the first one, yeah. But at least in this one, they don't leave him home alone. He's in another state by himself. But at least the title makes sense. He's lost in New York because he doesn't live in New York. He lives in Chicago, which is a smaller city than New York City. I've been lost in New York many times. I went to Queens several times, and I don't know where I'm going. That's Ali Sheedy, yeah, in a cameo. Yep, that's Manhattan. Yes, sir. Man, he has the craziest blue eyes. He does. Like it's like a cat. And Ali Sheedy was in this because she worked with John Hughes in The Breakfast Club. She was the emo girl that gets a haircut, which was a nice thing for her, but it takes so long and it happens at the end. I'm like, yeah, you could have made give her the makeover an hour into the movie, not at the very end. In Florida, I'm in New York. Hey, Jay Shad, you just made it. We're about 20 minutes into Home Alone 2. because Christmas in July is over next week, so I got to do this now. And I love the soundtrack in this movie too. The cold is rolling down the streets of the park. I'm writing you a letter and I don't know where to start. The bells will be ringing, saying, I get a little lonely every day. It's on. The music's playing. Oh, I hate fireworks. I'm sick of it. Stop shooting fireworks in New York City after 4th of July. There it is. World Trade Center, people. I was there before it was destroyed. Yeah. We'll never forget you. Fuck the terrorists that did that, by the way, and also fuck the people that did COVID as well. The ones that made this happen. I'm about to be a senior in high school. Good for you, Jay Shads. Work hard, man, because life is too short, and you don't want to let that brain power go to waste. Do it, man, because some people didn't do it. Don't forget about Batman Returns. I'm doing that in 2 days or a day or two. There, he's on the top of the World Trade Center. This scene was cut on TV. If you ever see this movie on TV or like on ABC or like Freeform, they cut the scene because they don't want people to remember. But again, the World Trade Center is in this movie because this was 1992. Wasn't destroyed till 2001, and even then, I still remember it. I remember the feeling it was to go into that building, not the top of the building, but like the bottom. I'll never forget because I was there. I saw the towers when I was a kid and a teenager, but then when those things were destroyed, I was like, oh my God. It was like straight out of a disaster movie. I was in school when it happened. I was in high school. Yes. Hmm. Yeah, I know. In the first movie. But not every scene in this movie is the first film. They don't pull a gun on Kevin in the first film. This one, they get a little bit darker. And the traps are way deadlier than the first one. That's why I like this one more than the traps are definitely better in this one. Because the first one had feathers. I'm like, no, in this one, he like hits them with tools and electrocutes them. Yeah. It's my favorite film. My favorite even though I love the first one. It's like with Die Hard. I love the first one, but Die with a Vengeance is my favorite sequel. Yep, that's the fish market from the Godzilla remake. This was a few years before. The traps are way better than three. The only good thing in that movie was the traps because it made me laugh. But other than that, like the plot was just nonsensical. It was lame. And four, there were no traps. I mean, they get hit with. It's more like it's more like coincidences than traps in the fourth one. I mean, it's water and a grappling hook to his crotch to his asshole. That's not funny. There they are, Daniel Stern and Joe Pesci. Smell that? Yeah. No, it's fish. Yeah, that's the subway station. I remember this. I'm going to go to Manhattan next week. That's the 27th Street station, I think, or 37th Street station. How did they take the train without any money? They must have jumped over the turnstile. Yeah, they never explained that, but it's a movie. Hmm. We're the sticky bandits. Yeah, I just love these movies so much. They were both a part of my childhood, and I got to see this in the theater when I was a kid. I was laughing my ass off. My sister was only a baby, so she doesn't remember it, but I was 7, and I saw this Christmas Eve in 1992, and I was laughing out loud, harder than some of the adults in the theater, because I just love the first one so much, and this one had the same feel, which I want. I don't want a remake of the first one, but I want something different, and and it's in a new location. It's not like Hangover 2 where they literally do the same movie but in Bangkok. They get drunk and they get lost they lose their friend again, and it's not funny. And there's a transgender person for some reason. Yeah, because that's hilarious, isn't it? I saw the first two on TV in December. Yeah, I always watch these movies every year. Every Christmas I watch them because it's tradition. And Elf and A Christmas Story and everything else. This is a supermodel. You could tell because she has one of those faces. Brum, 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 brum. Mm-hmm. Good score, man. John Williams, man. You can't beat him. Beautiful woman. Look at that face. She photos Will Smith. Mm-hmm. Ah, here comes Trump's cameo, guys. Do not say that I'm political. This is just a cameo. That's all. And this is when the Trump Plaza was cheaper. Now it's really expensive. Here it comes. Cinema Sins gave us like a million things. There he is. You're fired. Yep. That was our former president, guys. The ones that they try to break into the White House to stop. I'm like, he's an old man, right? And so is Joe Biden. So you don't have to attack old senior citizen guys. They're defenseless. You don't need to attack them. That's pathetic. If you are doing that, then you don't have a life. I'm never going to do that. I hate Kathleen Kennedy, but I'm not going to go to Lucasfilm and knock on the door and punch her lights out. No, she'll get what's coming to her. The cameo's fine. It doesn't distract from the rest of the plot. It doesn't like ruin the movie. Back in the 90s, Trump worked in Manhattan and he made cameos in some films. There's Rob Schneider with his Edward Cullen hair. It's a funny guy. He's done some bad films with Adam Sandler. I get it. You saw he's standing on the phone books. Yeah. Again, they won't get that. Gen Z will not get that reference. They don't even know what a phone book is. I remember the yellow pages when I was a kid. I used that to order pizza when I was a kid. My parents did before the internet was a thing. The father. Extra large bed, TV, and one of those little refrigerators you have to open with a key. You got it. And that's when you have to use a payphone, not a sit. Jim Carrey or Adam Sandler. Jim Carrey all the way because I grew up with him. Adam Sandler, I didn't grow up with his films. I didn't see one of his films until Waterboy, and I was a teenager when that happened. And plus, that movie's weird because in that movie he's like Babby Boucher, and he has a weird accent in that, among many accents he's done. I always thought when I was a kid this lady looked like a bird. I know that's weird. It's because her nose. Mm-hmm. Hey, I saw the Sweet Life of Zach and Cody, and they lived in the hotel. That was about 13 years after this movie. I hate meetings too. Yeah, a visa. Don't. Man, sometimes I do get to the mischief. Plus, Kevin was a normal kid. He wasn't an annoying little shit with glasses and a British accent. Why was that in the movie? I don't have my wallet. Yeah. Yes. Wrong, sir. There's Tim freaking Curry, man. One of the best voice actors you've ever had. Yes, he was He's British, dude, but he's that's why he wasn't in Fern Gully that much because he was doing this film and he's in this film a lot until like the third act and then he disappears because he was a big name at the time, so he was not going to be in this film for 2 minutes. Yeah, he was a great villain in Fern Gully though, because that movie I cried a lot in that movie. I can't do a podcast for that movie; it's going to make me cry like a little girl. And I've done that enough for you guys this year. Like when I saw the Jetsons movie, I was crying like I was 5 years old again. When I was so young and innocent when I was a kid. Yeah, me too. This is the first thing I saw Rob Schneider in. Then I saw him in Surf Ninjas, and a lot of cameos in Adam Sandler movies. His worst is Norm of the North. As a voice actor, that was terrible. He was in the Wild Thornberry's show, the movie, and in the third Rugrats movie, which is a crossover. Hmm. Yeah, why are they snooping? Because he's a kid in a hotel. Luxurious and spacious. Yeah, those are like 50. Yeah, all that candy is like $15 a pack. Hey. Hmm. At least Rob Schneider's not doing a racial stereotype in this movie because what the hell was he thinking? In every movie, he either plays a Southerner or an Asian or a Middle Eastern. I'm like, whoever thought of that is an asshole. He's a Jewish man, and also he's part Asian. Don't make him play something he's not, guys. That's racist. You can't do that now. That's why Rob Schneider doesn't play a lot of stereotypes anymore because, again, the world has changed. Back then in the 90s, he was just playing a normal guy or a weird guy, but not a racist. I mean, it's just, I don't blame him. I'm going to blame the writers for every Adam Center. Stroke of my, lick of my, suck of my. No, I'm okay. I love that they put that music and then it's a dirty song. I was laughing when I heard that. It's like stroke of my, lick of my, suck of my. I'm sorry, but I know, guys, I'm childish, but that made me laugh my ass off when I heard that on YouTube. There's some old people. That's the jingle bell. Thanks for stroking my. Thanks for sucking my cock. Yeah, I know, guys. But again, yeah. Yikes. Yeah. He rents some VHS tapes of Flybait, The Ventilator, Mudville Massacre, Angels with Even Filthier Souls. Those movies don't exist. They're fake. They're fake films. In this one, he shoots a woman. Again, different time, guys. It was the 90s. Now you do that and they're like, oh my God, this movie's so misogynist or sexist or whatever. Hold it right there. I knew it was you. I could smell you. Get off the elevator. You was here last night too, wasn't you? He was not. She was smooshing with your brother. I know this dialogue like the back of my hand. You've been smooching with everybody. At least not every joke is from the first movie. Like the cliff joke, there's a payoff to that joke. It's hilarious. That's not in the first movie, so at least I appreciate some of the jokes for being different. But my Tommy got out. If this was done today, Gal would have played this role. Better than that. And I do appreciate that they filmed it in black and white like in the first one, but it's a woman this time. This is a classic. This movie's a classic, just like the first one. There's a reason people still remember this movie 30 years later. Yet the third one is a joke. I rest in peace to the guy that was in the third one. And also, rest in peace to Paul Sorvino and David Warner. You're in a better place now. You don't have to suffer from COVID like I did. Thanks for all the movies and shows that you've done. You guys, you'll be missed dearly. And a happy new year. And also, I like the fact that they do something different. Instead of stealing from houses, they steal a toy store. So not everything is from the first movie, guys. You're going to have references to the first film. I mean, that's what sequels do. If not, then it's not really a sequel. The chat's kind of dead, but it's okay. He scares them off. Housekeeping. Who does housekeeping at night? Usually they do it during the morning or in the daytime, in the afternoon, not at night. When a kid is sleeping, no. Yeah, he puts a shower. There's a nice shot from Psycho. Yeah, it's a nice touch because John Hughes probably was a fan of the original Psycho where they show the shower head. It's funny because I have two shower heads now. This funny part, yeah, they added a little bit more. Like they added, the opening notch. Real cash can really do the cooter. It's like, why is he spying out? Well, this can't be talking about. That's funny. He's like, what the hell? He's like, gives this weird look. He has big eyes, Tim Curry. See me walking down the street? It's Bozo the Clown. I used to love Bozo the Clown when I was a kid. Cha! What? Walking, Frankie. Oh, a low blow to the knee. Yeah, that's hilarious. And since they don't have a lot of money, they have to go to an inn in Miami, the Villa del Dolphin. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Adult films hourly rate. Again, guys, early 90s. Now we have the internet, so Miami Airport, yeah, that's a terrible place. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Wink. Yeah. Because Kevin got all the money, so he's in the hotel. And no, I never played the Home Alone video games. I heard they were terrible, so I avoided them when I was a kid. I knew they weren't going to be as good as the film. That's a directory. Yeah, people don't have those anymore. No, they don't live there. The house is being renovated, so that's where he does the traps. And because he couldn't do the traps in the hotel, that would make no sense. Kevin would get arrested for, defacing public property. You can't do that. People already trash a whole hotel room already. That's a picture like in the first one, but again, it's in the wallet this time, not his wallet, but his dad's wallet. I do appreciate the references to the first film. You're going to have that in a sequel, guys. But if it's just the same thing, like there's nothing new added to it, then it's a remake. It's not a remake. It does its own thing. It's in New York. I appreciate that they show New York. It's not Canada. They don't film like 5 minutes in New York and the rest of it's in Canada, like in Jason Goes to Manhattan, which is a lie because he's not in Manhattan. He's in Manhattan for 5 minutes, and the rest of the movie he's in Toronto in like a bunch of alleys. But it's a fun movie. It's just not in Manhattan. Like this movie is in New York, so I appreciate that. These are nice scenes, not from the first movie. They have that mother-son telepathy, which is nice. And the acting is fantastic, just like in the first one. And I have a strong bond with my mother, so every time I think about her when she's not around, when she's on a trip or something, because she means so much to me. There's a nice shot, a sunset. I mean sunrise. 411. Yeah, that's a number that still exists to this day. Yeah. Sunsets are beautiful. Well, it's a sunrise because it was morning. You wanted a tip. Yeah, and people hate Rob Schneider. I don't hate him, guys. I grew up watching his movies when I was a kid. This and like I said, Surf Ninjas is dumb, but I get a kick out of it that he's playing a teenager and he's like 30 and he has red hair. He looks ridiculous, but it's a movie for its time. Hey, it introduced me to Kelly, who is one of the most gorgeous women I've ever seen in my life. That's Asian. Yes, Josh, I think she's even more gorgeous than Haley Steinfeld. I know. Why? Because she's like Chinese and Hawaiian and mixed, and she's older than me, which is that's already going to be hotter. When an Asian woman is older than me, it has a meaning for me. Last night, to make everything was in order. He was. Yeah. No. No, I don't want to see a naked guy. Who? It's HU, not HI, because you put Kelly high. High. Yeah, again, I don't want to see any naked man in the shower or in any kind of a locker because I said, like I said, I don't like to look at a guy's junk. I just don't. It's not for me. I'm into women. Callous. Yeah, that's snooping, right? And that's against the law. You can't invade a person's privacy in a hotel, even in the Trump Plaza processing. Speaking, he's in a limo in this one. That's different. Hmm. Listening once again. With candy canes and silver lanes aglow. There's Coca Cola, and he's seen the Grinch, a different scene this time. It's on Channel 3, yeah. Oh, that pizza looks so good, man. Kelly Who was it good in X-Men 2? Yeah, she didn't say much. It's Who. It's like this. That's how you spell it with an H-U. Getting to look a lot. Yeah, that's Smile. Yeah, look, it says stolen. I don't know how a machine can tell you that, but yeah. Bingo. Bing. Yeah, I love that. There's a lot of nice touches in this movie that are not things that you would get away with in a comedy today. Yeah, because now every other film wants to be in New York City. I mean, you had the Avengers, the Smurfs, and what else? Uh, Elf. But I love Elf, and I like that Elf is not a remake of this movie. Hmm. Also, Spider-Man was take place in New York. Yeah, all the Spider-Man movies, all the Raimi films, the Amazing films, and the first Homecoming. Not Far From Home because he leaves New York for most of the movie, and he's in Europe. And then No Way Home, which is great. That's brilliant. Yes, there is. Duncan's Toy Chest, aka FAO Schwartz. I love this movie. I don't care what the nostalgia critic says. It's a masterpiece compared to four, to three, four, and even the new one that came out last year, which is not a Home Alone movie. All it did was make a British version, a shittier British version of the first movie, with references to the first film, even though this is supposed to be a reboot, not a sequel to the first one. Because Kevin's never mentioned. They mentioned the McAllister alarm system, but I'm like, Kevin's not in the film. Do your own thing. Stop trying to steal from the best. Disney Plus. You and your ripoffs. That's why I haven't seen Disney Plus for weeks. Since Miss Marvel ended, I haven't watched it in 2 weeks because I needed a break. She Hulk's not till August 17th, so that's a while. And I'm not watching it next week. I'm going to watch just the Netflix series, maybe. Not. It's the greatest action of my life. I'm not going to watch any kid stuff next week. That's a nice store. Got unicorns, reindeer lights, little Christmas houses. We come out of our little houses. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Also, yeah, $23 for soap. You ever heard of the dollar store? Yeah, this guy was also in Baby's Day Out in a cameo. I do miss him too. It's nice. Hmm. So do I. I donate to children's hospitals every year when I go to McDonald's or the supermarket because every little bit helps, man. If you can make a smile, if you can make one person smile in this world, you've done your job. You've shown your humanity. No matter what you give, blood, clothes, money, if you give it with an open heart, it's worth it, man. Mm-hmm. friendship and love. Yeah, for John Woo, it's like a fetish of his. Friends forever. I love this movie so much, man. That's why I miss so much. Chris Columbus can do better because he's doing Gremlins 3. No, not Gremlins 3. That's Joe Dante. I think he is. Yeah, I think he is doing Gremlins 3, but I don't think Gremlins 3 is needed. It's been too many years, and the second one didn't do well when it first came out. It's gotten a cult following now, but if they use CG for the Gremlins, it's going to look terrible, and I don't want that. I don't want two classic films. Yeah, E.F. Duncan. Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, you're Mr. Duncan. This is also a cameo because you don't see Mr. Duncan until the end of the movie after the traps are all done. Yeah, remember when you had to use a map? Yeah, nobody uses a map anymore. They have maps on their phones. Yep, they see his bag. K. McAllister. Yeah, almost an hour into the movie, they see him. Kind of like in the first one, but in this one, they want to kill him. Like he pulls out a gun. He just lost that Swiss Army knife. And everybody in New York hears him in this block. Jeez, Kevin, what are you getting raped? It's like, ah! He's screaming like he saw a ghost, man. Yeah, do that in Manhattan now in 2022. They'll look at you like you're crazy. And you notice that the streets are kind of empty? Yeah, because they were filming? Oof, man. Yeah, that was a scream of terror. Like, he screams like that twice. Here, in this scene, and when he sees the pigeon lady in Central Park. Man, Macaulay Culkin, no one can scream like him. The kid in the fourth one, no, he sucked. There's a Jamaican guy. Yep. Dun, dun, dun. This is the first trap, which, is just to set up the traps later. That they're going to be falling a lot. At least this is different. They don't fall. They didn't fall this early in the first film. Watch. Yep. Beads. Killer beads of doom. Whoa! Whoa! Yes! Yep, just like in the first movie, yep. Like a close-up of Tim Curry's face. Yep, there's Pennywise. They float! Waha! 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 Yeah, I still love those scenes. I haven't seen it. I'll try to see it next month. The original, and then I'll see the remake with the new Pennywise. I know it's not Halloween, but that miniseries was 3 hours, so I want to see the first one at least, and then the remake, and then the sequel to the remake. That one I could wait till like October because it's like almost 3 hours long. Too long. Next time, make these horror movies shorter, guys. You don't need to make a movie with a clown 3 hours. Joker was not 3 hours, and I saw that in the theater. Damn. Whoa! He would be a great Joker. Yeah, he would have. And I almost got it. No, this is a PG movie. They don't curse as much in this movie compared to the first one. Come along, Cedric. Yeah, this is funny, man. At least he doesn't scare off the pizza guy in this one. In this one, he scares them off. He took the cookies, yeah. You have to pay for that because, everything that you take in the hotel that's not complimentary, yeah. One question, one plot hole. How would Kevin get to the airport? He would have to like take a cab or something because there's not a lot of airports in Manhattan. I think there's like one maybe. Yeah, here last night too, wasn't you? Yes, sir. I was. His accent slipped out. He says, "I was," not "I was." Yeah, that's great. That's embarrassing. Don't give me that. You've been smooching with everybody. Here's the payoff to that joke in the beginning. Cliff? No. Oh my god. He's like, it's a lie. That is such a good payoff. See, that's what you call a punchline, people. Nowadays, a joke that just have the slapstick and there's no punchline. There's just, it happens. Have a punchline. He says, Cliff. Then they say Cliff. They show his face. It's a lie. There you go. It's funny. And the looks on their faces are just golden. I love it. Love you. This movie's funny even when it's not December. The count of three. Give you loyalty. This joke works in the first one. There's no scene like this in the third one. Yeah, it's a punchline that actually works, and all the guests hear it on that floor. He goes out the fire escape. There was a couple having sex. Yeah, there's a black guy coming out. This is a filthy animal. Happy New Year. Yeah. An insane guest, yeah. If they have a gun, they shouldn't be in a hotel. Oh yeah, this is a reference to the first movie. Remember the M on his hand? Yep. They do a close up of it too. Yep. M. No parking. Yeah. You notice there's no security back there or like a garbage man? We were wrong, little buddy. In Duncan's toy chest, 5 floors of cash. You fish. Yeah, when I heard that line, I thought he was referencing the Undertaker, the wrestler, the Undertaker, because that's what I knew about it. Yeah, this is a great punchline. He grabs a woman's ass again, guys. Different time. You do that now, you'll get kicked in the nuts. Yep, he scratched her. He's like, yep, sucker punch. He did it. Did what? And this woman has no dialogue. She just gives reactions. That's funnier than saying a stupid joke every 2 seconds like in a Melissa McCarthy movie now. Sometimes you're gonna just have something funny happen, like someone's reaction, like, or something. It's funnier than just doing the same thing. Also, there's a scene like this in Elf. I'm gonna do that movie in November, December, because I have to do that. I'm not gonna do it this month because July's almost over. I still got to do Batman Returns, which is a dark Christmas movie. That one's a little bit longer than this, but it's almost the same running time. And it's not in New York. It's in Gotham City, which is like Chicago or something. Or California. She slapped Harry in the face. No, she sucker punched him. She slapped them in the beginning, and then she sucker punches both of them with a close fist. That's not him. That's Harry Potter. Let him go. Grown men go to the park and don't leave alive. He stole a black guy's hat. Yeah, and they don't even mention it. Oh yeah, this is a scene in Spanish, which I think is because the first movie had French in it. I want to go home, Mom. Where are you? And let's mute this part. Yeah, it's dubbed over. It's the scene where he's on the plane on the phone with that school teacher, and it sounds terrible. Like it's a bunch of Mexicans dubbing it over. Remember when you had to have an antenna made of a wire hanger? Yeah, they have no idea what they're saying because most of them are white. Well, they're all white, but the only exception is Captain O'Hara's Canadian. Mm. Mm-hmm. I know. Yep, they cheer, of course. They didn't want to be in that crappy hotel for Christmas Eve. Yeah, renovating. Yeah, they're making the house better, even though it's like this looks like a house in the village. It's like really scary too, because that house has so many tools and things that And I'm glad that some of the traps are not the same traps in the first one. There's references, the paint cans, but they don't hit them this time. And there's the he sets himself on fire again, but this time it's like and then he puts his head in the toilet, which is a nice touch. That wasn't in the first one. I wish people would stop calling sequels a remake of the first one, like Ghostbusters 2. It's a different villain, and it's a different, feel. She slept. Wait, yeah. Hello? Anybody home? It's me, your favorite nephew, Kevin. Uncle Rob and Georgette. Could delete this one. West 96th Street. Yes, I've been there at night. It's scary. It's pretty scary because you don't know what's going to come out in Central Park at that time or even during the day because it's huge. It's one of the biggest parks in New York City. Yeah, there's an old lady. They got a homeless guy. You got this old lady like shaking her head like. We're an hour in. Kid. Looks like Bam Bam Bigelow. And you got hookers. Yes, this is when you could smoke in a PG movie. You can't do that anymore because kids movies now are PG. Mostly, and that DC Super Pets is a PG. You're not going to see anybody smoking in that or vaping because that's meant for R-rated movie. Ooh, that guy's eye. Imagine an Uber driver looking like that. With he laughs like the Joker. Yeah, he does. Or the Riddler, or like Two Face or something. Well, I live in New York City, so I'm used to going to Manhattan all the time. I even went in winter last year during the pandemic because I'm not scared, guys. I got the pandemic already. I got it and I survived it. So that means I can survive anything that's, trying to be against me. I'm not going to get monkeypox. I'm not gay. There's the pigeons, little birdies. Yeah, they have little heads, pigeons. They're different color pigeons, too. And they're real, they're not CGI. They're real. They're not. It's good to see real animals and not CG. So that one's a pregnant one. It's like fat and white. This is pretty scary. Even as a kid, I thought it was kind of freaky. Had the pigeons all over her, and she just comes out of nowhere. I saw the birds. Watch. Yep, he's loose. Run, Kevin. Run. At least this movie has some atmosphere. Yes, a comedy having an atmosphere. That's rare now. Yes, sir. Hmm. Plus, I'd like to see these characters again. From the first movie. Brenda Fricker was also in. She was in Angels in the Outfield as well. She was Maggie. Hmm. She was a foster mom in a way. She's Irish, yes. Bagora and all that. Yeah. Hmm. I think she won an Oscar, yeah, but years ago. I need some water because it's. I've been talking for an hour and I haven't drank any water. Here's that beautiful score from the first movie that I love so much. Hmm. Unless you've seen the birds, then this is terrifying. For Scarlett Johansson, this is like a night terror because she doesn't like birds. I don't blame her because they could fly right towards you. I love that score. Yeah, it moves me. There's a beautiful music of "O Come O Ye Faithful." Yeah, it's a nice orchestra, real music, guys. She has played with passion, man. I love that. Oh man, an orchestra. You can't beat that. You're never gonna beat a musical score like an orchestra, man. That's why John Williams' music is the best in cinema history. Because it's triumphant and big. It's beautiful. I think that's Carnegie Hall. It's a beautiful score. Mm-hmm. So there's a harp. Hello, birdies. Yeah, rest in peace, Luciano Pavarotti. His music is a nice touch. It brings a lot of atmosphere and ambiance. You saw the birds are pecking themselves. Hmm. Well, I was the youngest, and now I'm the middle child. Wait, I could leave Facebook because yeah, Belfast. I don't know why that got an Oscar nomination. Oh, because it's Irish and it's international. I don't care, Hollywood. Does everything international have to be some kind of you got a boner for that? I mean, I don't get it. Japan, Spain, Italy, France, freaking, the Netherlands. Do you have a boner for international films? I hate foreign films. I know normally I don't like to read subtitles when I'm watching a film. I mostly like watching kaiju films and anime. That's basically it, or a martial arts film. But when it's just a drama with people talking, it's boring. I do like the 400 blows because the story is good and it's not 3 hours long. We get it already. Film is art, but it doesn't need to be overlong and too text worthy. Orchestra music is beautiful. It is. It moves me. My heart. As far as heart, yeah. And it's a nice quiet scene because the third act is going to be a bunch of slapstick and loud screaming and yelling and anger. That's sweet. Do it more often. Yeah. Hmm. But I'd rather go to the movie theaters alone so that nobody can tell me what I'm going to see and when I'm going to see it. Because I like going to the theater so I could cheer. Hmm. 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 Follow the star in your own heart. And I'm glad that Macaulay Culkin, is recovered from his addiction because I don't want to see people suffering from drug addiction, guys. I never had that. I like being sober. When I'm wild and crazy, that's my ADHD kicking in. It's not. I don't take medication. I don't want to. I don't want to mess up my brain. I like being able to make decisions, whether they're good or bad. I'm going to make them on my own. I don't need a substance to do that. Movie has a lot of heart, just like the first one. He's on the roof like Batman or Spider Man. It's a nice song, Distant Star. Yeah. They see. Batman's sidekick is going to be in Batman Returns. You mean the Batman, right? Because Batman Returns, Robin's not in it. He was supposed to be in it. You be my true friend. Can't mess with kids on Christmas. And here it is, montage time, trap building time. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, and Kevin stays up all night because he does the traps at 9 o'clock at night, and then the traps are set for midnight instead of 9 p.m. this time. So at least it's different. And also, he doesn't sleep all night until what? He gets back to the hotel. And well, when he sees his mother at the end of the film, yeah, by the Christmas tree, yeah. So he stays up all night. Man, here we go. My favorite part of every Home Alone movie, well, mainly in the first two. Three, the only good thing was the traps. There it is. Operation Ho Ho Ho. Dun, 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 dun. At least he doesn't put water on the steps again like in the first one. This time he puts the green soap with the dragon's face on it. It looks like Nickelodeon slime. Bum, bum, yep. Nice electrical cords. Positive and negative. These movies are classics, man. Three didn't even have the Home Alone theme in it. It's like in the first 2 seconds and then it's gone. And the movie is like a completely different movie. Gasoline, yep. Flammable liquid. Ladder. Kerosene, yep, that's very flammable. Yep, getting the floor loose. Yeah, these traps are way deadlier than the first one. And not all of them are telegraphed. Like the him having that pipe excuse me, that hits him in the face, that's not telegraphed. So I'm glad that some of the traps were not telegraphed here. So Worcestershire. Hey, John, partner, nice rewatch on Home Alone 2. Yeah, thanks, Electric Dino. The finest in New York. And I appreciate that this movie's widescreen because I watched it on VHS when I was a kid. Yeah, because he's a kid. Our child is lost in one of the biggest cities in the world. Yeah, it is. One of the biggest cities. They gave him a complimentary suite because of what happened, because of the bad PR. Yes, my mom would do that for me too. It's one of the reasons when I was a kid, I never went on my own in any place bigger than my backyard at the time. Now I could do it because I'm a lone wolf. Oh, I love this slap. I love this slap. Is great because he wants to cry. And that's not a Will Smith. I'm like, he deserves that, and he wants to cry because Chris Rock. I give you some credit for taking that slap like a man and not crying like a bitch. Like, if that was Chris Tucker, he would cry like a little girl, like, or Kevin Hart. Yeah, because like I said, here it's a joke, guys. I could take this hat off because the movie's almost over. I wore it for over an hour, so for Christmas I'll try to wear a hat again. There's the that's the parrot. If this was today, they would have security cameras there. It's because it was 1992, guys. I could let it go. I know there's a lot of plot holes, but when you see a classic like this, you don't care. Thanks. Yep, crowbars up, just like the first one. Yep. A lot of single dollar bills. Happy Hanukkah. Yep, get it? Because he's Jewish and they get money on Hanukkah, and it's 8 days. Even though this is after Hanukkah, so yeah. Belated, I guess, yeah. There's nobody that even knows about it, yeah. Still better than the one from Disney Plus because that one was terrible. Yeah, I heard it was the worst movie from last year. That was not released in theaters. It took a flash photography. I remember those cameras. Gen Z's not going to get these references. Another Christmas in the Trenches. Yep, he breaks a glass like Batman. Hey, little Sims, you just made it. You just made it to the third act of this movie, so you're lucky you didn't miss it. You didn't miss the funniest parts of the movie. Yeah, this is the seesaw. It's a great stunt. That would have either paralyzed him or killed him. I'm sorry, guys. It's just this slapstick cracks me up, man. It's like a Bugs Bunny cartoon. Oh, because it's a kids movie. You're not going to hear him say the F word, especially back then. He's fine. He survived crashing on a freaking car. Sometimes the Avengers crash into things, and they at least need some time to get up. They don't get up like it's nothing. Oh, this movie gives me so much joy. After seeing so many terrible comedies in this decade, and in the last one, yeah, it looks like Super Smash Brothers. Yeah, exactly. Or like I said, like a Looney Tunes cartoon. Times Square. Yeah, she has to go to Times Square to look for him. Because if she went to the house, she would have gotten hurt. That's why Kevin has to be there alone with the bandits, with the sticky band. Dun, dun, dun. And this film is still one of the highest grossing comedies of all time. This is better than Home Alone 3, definitely. And why rewatch this with Incredible Hulk? Let's kill. No, it's not. It's not his house. Also, the bricks. That's different from the first movie. Instead of hitting a brick wall, they get hit with bricks. Well, Marv does. Hmm? I'll make a deal with you. You throw down your camera, and we won't hurt you. The Kevin's uncle's house, yeah, Uncle Rob. Yeah, give it to him. It hits Marv instead. Oh, yeah, he would have had a concussion or died, but it's hilarious, man, because it's not real. It's a movie, so I can suspend my disbelief. How many figures about there are? 8. It's a good effect too. You want to throw bricks? Go ahead, throw another one. Oh, you're gonna lose. Yeah. No. That scene was cut on TV. Yeah, they cut some of the. They only hit him like once with a brick, and that's it. but I don't want it cut for TV. I'd rather just watch it uncut and uncensored. He's out of them. Wrong, sir. Hubba. Hubba. Oh man, that's it. Nobody throws bricks at me and gets away with it. It's so hilarious. Very comedic, like Deadpool. Yeah, and this was way before Deadpool. This was like a decade and a half before Deadpool. Harry. I haven't seen Bushwhacked. I need to see that. That's another comedic movie that Daniel Stern did in the mid-90s. It was with a bear. Yeah. That one was a little bit more edgy because it was PG-13, not PG. Those Star Wars live commentaries, you kept ignoring the messages. Well, that was because, again, I didn't want to be distracted. If it was the originals, I wanted to be, in the groove. I didn't want to have distractions. With this, it's almost over, guys. So. That's great. Yeah, he has those thermal socks. Watch. Right in the ass. A staple gun. Yeah, that's different than the first movie. And then right in the nuts. Ooh, that's horrible. Watch. Oh, watch. Oh my god. Yeah, if a staple gun, once that shoots me in the ass, I'm going to just give up because that hurts. I've gotten hit with a staple on my finger and it hurts like crazy. Imagine getting that shot at full force up your anus. That would hurt a lot. Or on your nose. I'm talking about the original trilogy, and you spelled trilogy wrong. There's an L in it. Oh, he does a stunt like, whoa! I never use staple gun. Oh, me neither, because it's dangerous. Watch, he gets Nickelodeon slam on his head. I'm surprised this is not getting re-released in theaters, even though it's 30 years old. Maybe the Animal Draft House will re-release it. I would love to see this in the theater and laugh my ass off because I saw the first one in the theater a few years ago. Nope, wrong. Yeah. Yep. This would definitely knock my socks off, yeah? Just give up, guys. Some people said Return of the Jedi sucks. No, that's their opinion. I think The Last Jedi sucks because it's not even its own story. But, yep, the doorknob. At least the doorknob's not on fire like in the first one. Yeah. In the trailer, the wrench hits him on the head. You see the wrench actually hit him on the head, but here they just drop the wrench on him when he's falling. Because it's different. The trailer had scenes that were not in the film. Like the Statue of Liberty screaming, that was not in the film. That's just an advertisement. Wow. What a hole. Yeah, he dances in the scene. He's like... Yeah, this is ridiculous, but it's funny, man. It's just a classic. I love this movie so much. Whoop, whoop! Watch, look. What are you, a figure skater? Yeah, that's great, man. Ah! This was in the trailer as well. Uh-oh. Yeah, the paint cans this time they make him look like the Joker. At least that's different. The Empire Strikes Back live counter. You kept skipping messages again, Little Sims. That was months ago. Let it go. That was back in like what, May when I did all the films. I was very stressed. Plus, I had COVID in May, so you can't blame me. Well, I got it after I did those podcasts, so you can't blame me. I had a long, long year, but I survived. There's another hole in the ground. Yeah. It's a big house for it not being Kevin's home. We're an hour and a half in. We're almost done. Look, he looks like the Joker. Look. It's practical makeup. See, there's no CGI in this movie, and it was a big budget film in the 90s. Nowadays, everything looks too digital. Compare this to Avatar: Way of the Water, which is going to be 99% CGI, and it looks fake. It looks like a video game. It works in a video game because you're playing it at home, but in a movie theater, it looks ridiculous. It looks like cutscenes from a PS5 game now, because that's the newest PlayStation, the PlayStation 5. It just came out 2 years ago. Am I going to get it eventually? Oh yeah. Yep, he raises increased voltage. He looks like an Evil Dead animatronic. He turns into a skeleton. That's a nod to John Hughes' Plane, Trains, and Automobiles when they go through the trucks and it's like, ah! That's hilarious, man. Yeah, these comedies are better. They were way better in the 80s and the 90s because nowadays comedies, people can't take a joke anymore. They can't just sit back and laugh at something or laugh at themselves. Like the flame is quiet. But in this one, he blows up, which is a nice touch. No, there's no water. Yeah, because there's no snow to get to blow it out. Oh my god! Yeah, it just blows up. See, this is how you do comedy the right way. I love to see when Harry's hair is on fire. Look, Jack Sparrow teeth. And it blew out his hair. This one is not his hair. It's not a red spot on his head. It blew up. He's shaking. Yeah, I would have given up after the brick to the head or the staple in my ass because I'm like, I don't like pain, guys. Harry? During the Star Wars, you wanted to talk Star Wars. Yeah, here I'm talking about Home Alone 2. They're keeping the eye on the ball, Little Sims. You've seen this movie. I know a lot of Gen Z kids saw this movie. Because it's on Disney Plus now, so there's no way to ignore it now. All the Home Alone movies are there. Clever Girl. Yeah, that's from Jurassic Park. That came out a year after this. I'm coming up! No, you're not. Watch. Uh-oh. Oh, man. Squished. Now he's white all over. Yeah. Look at his Jack Sparrow teeth. And he's burnt. He's not blackface. He's burnt. It's soot on his face. Yes! Whoa. Yeah, he almost falls off that. This is one of the only things he doesn't fall off. He's climbing on a CRTV. I remember those. That's from like the 1980s, I think. Yeah. Whoa. Hey! A kid always lives against two idiots. Yeah, credit. Watch. You credit. Uh oh. Ah! Oh man, that hurts. Oh, he fell off a ladder like a pro wrestler. Hey, you didn't lose any teeth, right? Like in the first movie, yeah, the gold tooth he lost. Hmm. Kind of like WWE, yeah, with the except it's a wooden ladder, not a metal ladder. Yes, I do remember. Let's get him. Oh, he busted me right in my mouth, Marv. Harry, I'll get him. Yeah, he's not dumb this time. He came up with Plan C. Watch this. Here it comes. This is different. Oops. Oh man. Yep. A pipe right to the face. That's 3 and 4. How do these guys have not mental scars after all this pain they go through? Yeah, I love this movie so much, man. It has some of the laughs of the first movie out loud. Solid as a rock, huh? Give up? You had enough pain? Yep. Now it's the tool chest down the stairs again. Different. Did see that message? Yeah, I did see your message. I'm not doing the other Star Wars movies though. I'm not doing Clone Wars, Rogue One, Solo, or The Force Awakens because I don't want to relive those. They're horrible. I'd rather do commentaries for movies I like. Even if it's a hate commentary, at least let it be something that I hate that I can laugh at or make fun of how stupid it is. Like I did with with not Looper was unexpected. Ah! Oh, yeah, because Looper I was not expecting to hate it, but like Pixels, I showed you my hate for that movie. I know my friend Levi likes it, but that's fine. Two chests falling down the stairs. Yeah, that's great. Ooh. Now he goes up the roof and then the kerosene rope. And and Kevin had this calculated, just like in the first one. The kid in the other one, he's supposed to be sick with chicken pox, and he's doing all these traps. I was so not buying that. That's what's kind of rude. I don't know what you're talking about, Little Sims. I already read your message that you wanted to talk about Star Wars. That's all you left. I'm sorry, that was months ago. Let it go. Yeah, surrender, kid. You big horse's ass. I avoided Clone Wars. Yeah, the movie, it's awful. The 2008 movie. The neck injury. Suck brick, kid. Yeah, he was gonna throw it at him. Yeah, he should have dropped it on him. Harry, you wearing aftershave? The rope is soaked in it. No, what would soak a rope? Kerosene, because it's flammable and it could blow up. Go up! And the originals go back. So at least it's different, you know? It's a little bit different, guys. Plus, he didn't set the rope on fire in the first one. He cut it. Ah! Good stunt work by these two men. But, well, the two men that did this. Ah! Oh, they do the cartoonish, like, watch. I told you, they're cartoon characters like Wolverine, Roger Rabbit, man. It's great. I miss movies like this. They don't make movies like this anymore. Like the new one is not funny. In that movie, the kid is trying to kill two innocent people. Yeah, innocent bystanders. These are not villains like trying to break into the house. They have a reason for it. It's a man and a woman too, and I don't like women getting beat up. It's not funny. Can you believe some people take The Force Awakens over A New Hope? I don't know what they see in it. I just don't. I didn't grow up with the movie. I saw it once in the theater, and that was enough. I don't need to see the hobo constantly with her stupid face every time that movie starts. I'm like, no, fuck her, okay? In the face with a stick. Yeah, this is where Kevin gets hurt now. So, different. The first movie, he gets caught. Here, he slips and gets hurt. Yeah, you know, they should have just killed them and left no witnesses. There were no witnesses in Manhattan. It's like, I think, 1 o'clock in the morning, probably. Usually Manhattan, the Central Park is empty at that time, unless it's Shakespeare in the Park. Give me it. Yeah, it's longer than the first movie, but I can handle it because it makes me laugh. Dude, you lost the war. Yeah, they pulled a gun on a kid. They would never do that today. Why do you think Miss Marvel didn't have a lot of guns in it? Because, again, it's more for a younger audience. It wasn't that violent. Shut up! I'm going to enjoy this. Kid, and it doesn't look like you're going to eat it. At least she doesn't hit him with a shovel in this one. She throws the bird seeds on them, and then they get it. Free. Yep, it's like a scene out of The Birds. I can do this all day. Yeah, I know, me too. I could watch this movie for hours, man. It's great. And those are real birds. Those are not CGI. Some of those are turtle doves. I noticed they're not really pigeons. They're white doves. Because there's not white doves in you see, those are white doves, clearly. Yeah, some of those birds are not pigeons. They're actually white doves. That's a continuity error, but it's more or less the same. They have the same face. People during the Star Wars live stream. Again, Little Sims, let it go. That was 2 months ago and I was sick. Let it go, okay? I got sick in May. That's why I didn't do any podcasts on Memorial Day, and I was supposed to. So let it go, or I'll do this. I'll just do this. Sorry, but he's bothering me. Do that there, because I'm not in the mood. I have to finish the clothes later. There's the cops. The movie's almost over. Let it go, or else, or I won't watch your second Chucky thing on YouTube in October because I need to see other stuff the summer. It's my summer. Yeah, the birds heard that. Yep, and there's a tape as evidence. Bad guys say they'll kill me. When I was a kid, I thought that pigeon came out of his mouth. No, that's funny when cops arrested Harry Moore. Yeah, he remembers this makes the papers. We're no longer the wet bandits. We're the sticky bandits. Shut it. Yeah. Again, it's got a lot of beats of the first one, but that's more or less what I wanted because I was a kid and I wasn't hard to please back then. Now you got to do something different. You can't just make the same movie again and call it a new film. With Force Awakens, there was no excuse. You had 30 years after Return of the Jedi. We wanted to see a continuation, not the same shit with different characters that we don't care about and different races and different genders or whatever. We do not care. You made Luke a girl. Luke was going to be a girl in the original. If you've seen the artwork of the 70s Star Wars before it was made, Luke was going to be a girl. So suck it, Force Awakens. You're just a remake that no one asked for. This at least is a classic holiday film. Suck it, J.J. Abrams. You just made the same movie but made it worse. This movie is a classic, just like the first one was. It was 3 where we were like, okay, this isn't a classic anymore. And that movie's 25 years old, but it doesn't hold up. The traps are the only good things in Home Alone 3. Everything else sucks. The villains suck, the writing sucks, the characters suck, mostly. Home Alone 4 is a reboot. Yeah, and it's not a good one either. This guy played a cop. This black guy played a cop, also a U.S. Marshal in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid. That's why he only had a cameo here, because he has a big part in Honey, I Blew Up the Kid, which is not the same movie. Instead of him shrinking, he gets big, and it's a baby, not the kids. It's a good actor. He was also in he was in Mr. McClure in a few episodes of Full House. I mean, Family Matters back in the 90s. Yeah, hmm hmm I have a new Christmas tree I got a few years ago thanks to my dad. Did you see my friend Teddy Gaming reviews? No, not yet. I probably will. It's a beautiful tree. I've seen it up close. They put a tree there every year. The angels are a nice touch. It's a nice shot. It's a beautiful scene. Hmm. I love that music so much, man. So much heart, man. Macaulay Culkin, you make a lot of people happy. Never forget that, man. Never forget that. That's why Brenda Song fell in love with you. Nobody can top Macaulay Culkin. No, he is. That is my. That is my Home Alone lead right there. No one will ever top him. That's why he said no to the new movie, because he has dignity and he makes a lot of people happy. He does. People watch these movies every year. He's an icon. Yes, he's an icon. That fat little turd from Jojo Rabbit is not an icon. And I'm sorry, Taika Waititi, but if you thought he was funny, don't ever direct him again. He's fat and he's annoying and he's British. Wow, that's something different. Yeah, I don't care. Bintos are not funny 90% of the time. The movie has so much heart, even at the end. Yeah, I don't get to open my presents until the afternoon. Why? Because I have a big family and they don't live in the same area as me. Some of them live a little further. I can't wait. 5 more months, guys. 5 more months. I'm going to wear my suit just like I always do with my hat, and I'm going to have a smile on my face because it'll be the last Christmas I have to spend with my brother here living in this house. So it'll be the last, it'll be the end of an era, but we'll still have Christmas next year too. Alex D. Lynch and Mike Weinberg aren't the same. No, they're not. D. Lynch is a likable actor, but he's not Kevin. It's a lot of presents. It's great. And the ending is different. They didn't open presents in the first movie, so I appreciate that they did something different. That face is just such my childhood, man. Mwah! I love it. And I'm not gay, but I think he's a great actor. He was a good kid actor, and even when he did Party Monster, yes, I know what that subject matter is. You don't have to hound me on that. His performance was good. Seth Green also was good in it, but the subject matter was a little iffy, especially now. All right, enough to this show of the motion. Yeah, kids movie. Remember, they don't say shit in this one. And the first one they did because it was made in the late '80s, early '90s when it came out. When I was a kid, so. The two turtle doves, yeah. He sneaks out, yeah. And you have to walk all the way to Central Park in the snow on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. Oh, I love that music so much, man. It is my childhood. I hear that music and my holiday season is complete. A bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. Which is better, Star Wars: A New Hope or TMNT? What do you think? Star Wars is in my DNA, guys. I love that movie. It's everything that I could ever want in a beginning of a franchise. Thanks, Macaulay Culkin. Thanks a lot, man. You make me feel something. This could have been a really cheesy scene, like in a Hallmark movie, but here it has a lot of heart. This should have been the last Home Alone. Yeah, I agree with that because three did not do it for me. I saw it when I was 12, and I didn't see it in theaters. I felt betrayed. It was 5 years later, and people had gotten over it. Baby's Day Out was like the last good John Hughes movie he made. He wrote. Love this movie so much. Didn't make me cry, but it almost did because I love that scene so much. That music is amazing. That bill is huge. Oh my god! Wow, $967 with gratuities. That was it. Home Alone 2, baby. Love it. 30 years later, it's still funny and it still holds up really well. It's a little long. It's almost 2 hours, but unlike the comedies now where they just drag jokes out for 5 minutes, it knows what it is, and it's just a holiday classic, guys. And if you have not seen this, any of you guys, not in the chat, I know most of you have, but if you haven't seen this, it's on Disney Plus. It is worth your time. It's not a remake. It has a lot of notes from the first one, but it has a lot of heart. I love this movie. It was a big childhood favorite of mine. I saw this in the theater. I'm lucky I saw the best Home Alone movies in the theater. The first one and the second one. And they're going to live forever. Screw 3, 4, and that freaking Home Sweet Home Alone hell. This is where it should have stopped. But thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for everything. You guys you're so important to me. I never say that a lot, but Little Sims, yeah, don't take things personally. You're a kid, and I was sick. All right, when May came and I did the Star Wars one, I ignored you because again I was very tired and I got sick with COVID. So you got to give me at least I have an excuse. But this movie is great. I love it, and I watch it every Christmas because it just makes me feel so good. But thanks for watching. Take care. And the next one will be Batman Returns, a much darker Christmas movie that came out the same year. So thanks for watching. Later. Bye. There we go.